I'm 77 years old, and I'm still learning things. And I want to share with you something that I think really is helpful to seniors. I've been using ChatGPT, which is artificial intelligence, AI, for a little over 2 years now. And I can tell you that it has been a real eye-opener for me in every day, and I use it really every day. And it's been a real eye-opener for me on the benefits of it and how helpful it is to my decision-making and my curiosity. I mean, basically everything that I think about, that I want to learn more about or dive into or just try to understand something, I find ChatGPT is just an awesome tool, and it can be really beneficial to anybody who feels like they need some help just navigating things in today's world. And I know that for a lot of people, they're concerned about AI, and rightfully so, that the world's changing and we're being taken into a place that maybe is out of our comfort zone. But I think the benefits really outweigh the risks, and it is going to transform our world in a way that we can't even imagine. I know that I have limited time, like we all do on this earth, and I hope that one of the things I really hope for is that I can continue to live, just because I'm so excited about some of the things that are coming down the road for in the future. And I have that fear of missing out. I want to see some of the things that I dream about happening, and I know those things are going to happen, and I hope a lot of them happen in my lifetime. So I'm excited about the change. And that said, I've been in the computer business for over 45 years now. I own a computer software company, and I've been deep into the technology business, going clear back into the prior to the MS-DOS days. This goes clear back to CP/M operating system, and I've had to transform myself and change and learn and do all these things to try to keep up with the rapid change. Moving to Windows many years ago was a huge undertaking that I had to learn new things. But that's what keeps me going, and that's what excites me, and hopefully you're not resistant to some of the things that are coming, because they really, really can benefit you. I really believe that, and I think that it's important that you understand some basic things that will really help you navigate into the future, navigate your life into the future. I can give you some examples that I think, one of them happened last night, and that's kind of what got me thinking about this video that I'm doing right now. Is we were out to dinner with some friends, and they were having problems hooking up their printer, making it communicate with their computer, and they were kind of asking me for some help. And I get this a lot, because people that know me know that I'm nuts about technology, and I love learning new stuff, and I try to stay up with it best I can. And they were wondering, they were trying everything, wondered who to call, what to do, and I was thinking about it this morning, and the answer for them, and for probably you too, I think most everybody now in today's world, is not to get on the phone and call somebody. It's to ask questions, and what you really want is somebody that will respond to your questions. And that's where AI comes in, and it's available to everybody. I mean, to anybody. And you don't have to know anything in order to benefit and use AI. If you are using a computer, you're good to go. That's all you need to have. Now, I use ChatGPT a lot. It's a company owned by Alphabet, which owns Google. And they're kind of at the forefront of a lot of things, and I find it meets all of my needs. They have a free version, and the free version will probably do everything you ever wanted it to do. Or they have a paid version, and I pay $20 a month for some added things that I am interested in using, but I tend to use a lot more than what most other people do. But getting back to the point or the example I'm going to make here on ChatGPT and how this could benefit this couple we went out to dinner with is all they have to do is go into ChatGPT, and you can do that through an app on your phone, which is free, or you can go to your desktop computer and open your web browser just like you would anything else, and you just type in ChatGPT and it will give you a link to take you to that website. And once you're on the website, all you need to do then is just either type in some questions or voice in some questions, just verbally ask the computer. I would recommend you start out by typing first, just because it's hard to talk to a computer like I'm talking to a camera right now. It's not easy to do. It takes some practice. It takes some learning skills and things to get comfortable with doing that. But type in your question, and you can start out with something as simple as, I need some help. I am a senior. I don't know much about technology, and I get confused easily, so I need some simple answers, some straightforward answers on how to connect my printer, which happens to be a Brother model such and such, to my computer. Can you walk me through those steps? And that's what you would type in to ChatGPT. That's all there is to it. And ChatGPT will come back with answers. And those answers are going to be step 1, step 2, step 3, probably, things to check. But that's what you're going to get if you've got somebody on the phone, and the person on the phone may not speak a language you understand, and so that makes it more difficult. ChatGPT is very patient. It'll wait forever for you. You can start a conversation with it, and you can continue the conversation later. If you type in that question and then you go try a couple things and you come back an hour later and you still aren't solving it, you can ask more questions in the same conversation. You don't have to start a new conversation. It will remember what it's already told you, and it starts to learn a little bit about, what things you get confused about and what you don't. So all you have to do is come back and say, I'm really confused about step 2 here. I can't seem to find that button that you're referring to. Can you help me out and give me maybe at least an answer to that one question? And then once I solve that, I'll come back and ask for some more help. So you ask it those questions, and it will come back and help you out. It is like having an expert technician when it comes to computers or technology, somebody who will help you every step of the way and will move at your pace, not at somebody else's pace. I am guilty of thinking people know things and understand things that clearly they don't have any idea about the very basic things. To me, they're the basic things. And I get that. They don't know Wi-Fi from Bluetooth and, things that I take for granted because I know those things. But the point of AI, or the benefit of AI to you, is that it will be totally patient with you. It will move at your speed. It will give you answers to your questions. It won't be, if it's getting too technical, you can say, wait a minute, that's too technical for me. I'm a novice. I don't understand. Can you re-explain that in simpler terms for me? And it will do that. And it will just keep taking you down the path of getting all your questions answered and solving the problem in this conversation thread that you started with it. And if you come back 5 days later and you want to continue with that conversation based on the previous conversation, you can continue that conversation. It stores all of your previous conversations that you've had with it. Another example that I'll give you is something that personally for me really helped me out just recently. We had our air conditioning unit in our home suddenly quit one night. It was making bad noises and it stopped. And we woke up to a house that was, a lot warmer than we wanted it to be. The system was shut down. The temperatures outside were in the 90s, and I had to start making some decisions and doing some research. The first thing I did was go to ChatGPT and I typed in the problem. I said, my air conditioner quit last night and I need some help on what my options are. That's literally what I typed in. And it came back with information for me that got me started an educational process for me. I don't know anything about HVAC, or very little, but I wanted to understand some options first before I started making phone calls. The HVAC industry is aggressive. They want to sell you new equipment, and maybe it's totally justified, but maybe not. But the thing that I didn't want to do is I didn't want to go in uneducated and not have some answers to some basic questions about air conditioning systems in homes and how they work. And I get more technical and I ask more questions than maybe you will. But I dove into it and it all came down to a whole bunch of things that I just didn't know that had a huge effect on my decision. My decision came down to once I understood it was I had two options basically: to repair my existing system or to replace the whole thing. Now my existing system is 17 years old, and that's a huge thing because do you want to throw good money at something that's old and maybe fail again on you somewhere else down the line? The other option is replacing it, and replacing it now is super expensive. Since COVID and tariffs and everything else, the prices have literally doubled on air conditioning systems. What was maybe $10,000 to $12,000 back in prior COVID is now $25,000 to $30,000 or more for replacing a system. Huge amount of money is on the line, and the questions, there's a lot of variables, and again, I threw every variable I had that I could think of at ChatGPT, at the AI, and asked it, what about this and what about that, and what if I only stay in this house X number of years, and what's the cost benefit of spending the money for a new system? Will that really increase the value of my home when I go to sell my home? All of these questions. And I learned the other thing that's happening, going back to this HVAC air conditioning issue, is beginning in 2025, January, all the manufacturers stopped making air conditioning systems that use a coolant that it's now been replaced by a newer coolant, and it has a technical name. The new one is, I believe it's R54B, and my current system is 410A coolant. Okay, unnecessary to know that. It's just the fact they changed the coolant. And so what it means is all the equipment is basically now discontinued and obsolete. You can't buy, or it's really hard to find anything that has the older coolant. Parts are getting scarce because they quit manufacturing stuff for it. So end of that story is I did make a decision, and I made a decision I'm really comfortable with. Is I elected to go with fixing my failed system. It turned out the compressor failed, which is the most expensive part of the system. And it cost a chunk of money to replace that compressor. But I made an educated decision. Maybe it turns out it won't be the right one. But I repaired the system instead of putting out $25,000 or $30,000 to replace it. For a variety of reasons, I decided that was the best for me. May not be the best for you. But what you can do is, getting back to using artificial intelligence, is you can make better decisions on everything, anything. It may not always give you the right answers, but if you keep asking questions, you can keep drilling down, you can challenge it, you can say, where did you get that information from? It'll tell you where it got it from. It goes out and pulls data from everywhere. I actually use ChatGPT now as my search engine. I don't use, very seldom do I use Google. Most of you use Google probably, or Microsoft Edge, or Edge is a browser. but you use different search engines. And search engines, to me, are becoming a thing of the past, because now my search engine is ChatGPT. It does all the searching for me. Instead of typing in something I'm looking for and it brings out a list a list of websites for you to go look at, it goes and grabs the information from the websites, pulls them in, gives you an answer that website has, and puts it all into a format where you can read a summary, or you can ask for more detail. You can go, if you decide you want to directly go to that website, it gives you the website it went to, but it basically does an in-depth search for you, and it will listen to you or answer your questions. If you say, I just want a very basic summary and speak to me like I'm a 12-year-old, it will do that. It will come back and give you answers based on things that you ask it, and do it in a form or method that is easiest for you to understand. Being a novice or not having an understanding of something doesn't matter how long you've lived on this earth. None of us know everything. And even in the technology business, it's so specialized that other people that have been in the business a lot less time than I have know a whole lot more about things that I don't know at all. I mean, it's very, there's people that are experts in just little pieces of things in technology. So nobody has all the answers. I don't have the answers, but I know where to get answers that make sense to me, to help me be educated on things that I feel that I want or need answers on. I do a lot of things of just asking out of curiosity. My whole life, I've maybe been burdened by having too much curiosity. I've had people say to me in the past, it kind of stuck with me when they said it, is, boy, you ask a lot of questions, or you ask too many questions. I'm guilty of that. I am just that kind of person. I probably do ask too many questions. But the thing about ChatGPT is I can ask those questions and it doesn't get down on me for doing it. It just keeps giving me answers. And if I question its answers, it will tell me where and why it came up with that answer, and it will admit it's wrong. I've many times challenged ChatGPT on an answer that it gave me and said, well, wait a minute, I don't think that's true because of this. And it will admit, it'll say, you're right. I was wrong on that, and here's an updated answer to your question. Privacy, I know everybody's going to go nuts on this about privacy, and I don't disagree that, and there's bad things that all this can bring to us into the future, but the horse has left the barn. AI is here, and we have to learn to benefit from it. If you don't, I think you're missing out. I really think you need to embrace this and use it cautiously. Don't give it information you don't want it to have. Talk to it like a friend. It can become a friend. It's amazing. When you start putting it into a voice conversation, it talks to you like it's a friend. It's kind of scary. It is hard to wrap your head around what it is capable of doing and how it can present itself to you. But really what you need to do is just start out with something really simple and go to that. I'm going to put a link to the ChatGPT website in the description down below that you can go to. You don't need to download the app if you don't want to. You can put an app on your phone and use it there. I do. Or you can use it on your desktop computer, which I also do. But it's available to you all the time for anything. I sometimes will just be out for a walk and I'll see something and I'll be curious about something and I'll just ask it and it will give me answers. It's really fun. It's exciting. But don't give it information. Privacy is a concern. You should be concerned about that. Don't give it information that you don't feel comfortable giving it, ever. But you should start out with something simple. Just ask it some questions and get used to using it a little bit. If you're thinking about making a major purchase, that is a great time to pull up ChatGPT or whatever AI app that you want to use. And there's a lot of choices out there. I just happen to like ChatGPT the best. It's free. Pull it up, ask it some simple questions, and get used to what it does and how it works. I think that most seniors are not looking at this or thinking about this, because I talk to my friends and neighbors and they have no idea about it. I mean, they just, and I assume that most of people watching this video haven't used it, or maybe have dabbled with it and don't really, or maybe uncomfortable with it. And that's who I'm talking to here. I'm talking to people that have been, have distanced themselves from this new technology, or maybe a bit afraid of this new technology. In closing, just want to say that I think that it's something, again, that I just can't emphasize enough, that it for seniors, especially for seniors, it can be so helpful to you to take on the challenges of things that you don't feel comfortable or don't understand. And there are so many things I don't understand that I keep asking for help on, because I know that I will get help without getting on a telephone and dealing with somebody that doesn't really understand my capability, what I already know and don't know. ChatGPT, and this is a bit scary, it will get to know you. The more you ask, and the more you give it, like your age, basically, that you're a senior, and your health, whether you're still mobile or not mobile, and whether your financial condition is good or not good, anything it will help you with. And it will get to know you. And if you're afraid of it, I just have to say, don't give it stuff that you don't want it to know, but boy, the more you give it, the more it's going to benefit you too. So it's a two-way street. I hope that you'll give it a chance, give it a try. Again, I'm going to put a link down below. And if you feel this video is helpful to you, I really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you think you'd like to see more content like this, then I hope that you will also subscribe to my channel. I try to deal with a lot of things for people over 70 years old, bringing my life experiences to people, and talking about things that technology, and I'm excited about being at this stage of my life, and I just want to share it with others. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you'll post any questions you have down below. I read all of the questions or all of the comments, and so I really, really want to hear back from people, and let's spread the word about AI and how it can help out. So thanks again for joining me, and hope to see you again. Thank you.